Good day. I will be presenting my case study on welding consultancy for a high integrity Padeye assembly. This was part of Unit SSA 814 Advanced Welding Technology. My name is Olaiton Oluwaseun Hako with ID TP23/24/H/1231, and the work was supervised by was to be submitted to Dr. Padeye. The main objective of this study were to assess the welding challenges in fabricating a 200mm thick pad eye, identify possible welding defects and weldability issues, propose redesign and suitable welding procedure specifications or WPS, recommend appropriate welding processes, heat treatment, and NDT. The presentation is structured to cover the background, welding defect, weldability, redesign and WPS, welding processes, preheat and WPHT, inspection methods, lesson learned, and finally the references. For the project background, pad eye assemblies are critical lifting points in offshore oil and gas. They must be fabricated to very high integrity standards. The first subcontractor failed because they machined the component before welding, which meant any distortion ruined the part. Also, the joint design was too tight, making welding access almost impossible. As a consultant, I was engaged to help MSE Engineering develop practical solutions to these problems. Welding defects are major risks in such a thick and critical component. Common defects include porosity, cracks, and lack of fusion. For the pad eye, the biggest risks were hydrogen-induced cracking, lamellar tearing, and residual stress cracking due to the thickness and restraint. These defects are dangerous because they compromise safety and could lead to catastrophic failure in the service. The pad eye was made from a high-strength steel. Such steels usually have a high carbon equivalent, which makes them prone to cracking. The heat-affected zone, or HAZ, can become very hard and brittle if heat is not controlled. The 200mm thickness also means higher restraint and high heat input, which increases risk. To improve weldability, I recommended preheating between 150 and 200 degrees using low hydrogen consumables and controlling interpass temperature. And to redesign and WPS, one key intervention was to remachine the slots in the base plate. This gave welders better access and also helped reduce distortion. We recommended a narrow gap joint preparation. This minimizes weld volume and heat input compared to a conventional V-groove. The WPS specified preheating, low hydrogen electrodes, a balanced welding sequence to control distortion, and post-weld heat treatment at around 600 degrees. For the welding processes, we considered several processes like the SM, SMAL, GMAL, FCAL, and SAW. The best option was a hybrid fluid Cox arc welding. That is the FCAW was used for the root passes where access is tight. Submerged arc welding, that is the SAW, was used for filling because it gives high deposition rate and productivity. This combination ensured good quality and efficiency. For the preheat, PWHT and NDT, preheating was essential to prevent hydrogen cracking and to reduce thermal stresses. The challenge was to heat such a large section uniformly. Post-weld heat treatment, that is the PWHT, was applied at about 600 degrees for 16 hours. This relieved residual stresses, reduced hardness, and improved toughness. Finally, inspection was critical. We used phased array ultrasonic testing for thick welds, MPI and DPI for surface cracks, and followed standards like ASME IX, API, and DMV. So for the lesson learned and conclusion, the lessons from this project applied beyond Padeye. In oil and gas, safety welding prevents catastrophic lifting failures. In construction, distortion control is important for bridges and cranes. In aerospace and defense, preventing cracking and applying advanced NDT are vital for safety. Professionally, welding engineers must apply proper WPS and PWHT. NDT inspectors must ensure weld quality. Project managers must factor welding risk into planning. And in conclusion, by redesigning the weld prep, applying strict procedures, using right welding processes, and enforcing PWHT and NDT, we were able to deliver the Padeye successfully to specification and on schedule. My main reference include the lecturer's notes, Bedus and BB on melters, manufacturing, the Kalpakijan and Schmid on fabrication, and international standards like the ASME IX, API, DMVOX F101. Thank you.